Hello and welcome back to my channel. Hope you all have been doing wonderful. I have been doing great myself and definitely needed to make another video. And this one is going to be about faith. Using faith, understanding what faith is and how to apply it to your life. So, jumping right in, faith is used in two different situations. You can use faith when you just are in a place of uncertainty. You just don't know what move to make, or if you need to make a move, or how you're going to make this move, and how you're going to make this happen, or using faith in a place of chaos where it's just multiple things that are going on at once. Everything is going too fast. You're just under a lot of pressure, and you've got to rely on your faith. So, those are the two biggest general areas where you use your faith. And, we use faith in jobs and weight loss, career, mission trips, and one of the biggest is finances. And I can attest to that. You know, the cost of living is going up, and going to school is expensive. Um, trying to survive, trying to survive while going to school has always been hard if you're not born with money. So definitely what I am doing now, because it helps me in my walk with God. It helps me in my relationship with God. I tithe. I know that God blesses me because I give my 10% to Him. And the rest of it, whether I fall short, I know God has already covered it. I know He has. And He has done it numerous times. So I know that tithing does work. And I mean, God is just worth it. He is so much worth more than we give Him credit for. And so I know, like, that to me is just one way. It's just one, it's just one way to give back to Him. And 10% is not always financial, but it definitely is biblically. But I also see my 10% as, my ministry, uh, just talking to people and listening and, giving advice and, just doing different things and taking better care of myself. That is my 10% to God. And whatever is yours, I definitely encourage you to, talk it over with God and, ask Him to help you build up your faith in tithing and giving your 10% to Him and understanding more about it. But faith is definitely something that we have got to all increase. We've just got to increase it. And it's not an easy task. It really isn't. But there comes a sense of peace. You have a sense of peace at times when you do have faith in God. In whatever situation that you're going through, whether you've just lost your job and now your home is in jeopardy and you have kids, this is the time to use your faith. And faith without works is dead, of course. But definitely have faith in God and not walk by sight. So the opposite of faith is sight. If you allow what you see to consume you, that will dominate you. Because you're not expecting something great to happen out of your situation. Because this and that has all unraveled, has all just been completely out of line in your life. And so you expect this is it. Like this is what I'm gonna have to deal with. When you have faith in God, God helps you through that. And if it's not a situation like that, say you're going on mission trips and you just fear is something that I have to get over as far as like mission trips because I don't ever want to get sick. I don't ever want to get caught up in a war because, in the area that I may go to, it may be, a very challenging area as far as like, okay, there's no clean water. It's just totally different than what I'm used to. And but the reason I went over there was to share the gospel, was to help people know who God is and and to give them love. That's that's what I was, over there to do. But, fear kind of holds me back from doing that. And I just gotta walk by faith and know that yeah, those are possibilities that I may face. Like, right, you may not have clean water. You may not have the things that you have over here, but you're gonna make it through. You just are. And I gotta have faith that, you know, the message is going to be heard. The message is going to be felt by those who hear it. The message is going to totally change and renew those people. And that's what faith is. Can't, you cannot not have it. And that reminds me of the book of Ruth. Um, Ruth had no idea who God was, and she surely didn't know at the time what he was teaching her. He was teaching her blind faith, um, because her husband had died, and she had the option of going back to her homeland or going with Naomi. I believe that's her name. Lord help me. I think that, yeah, with her mother-in-law. And she had no idea what was in store for her, but she chose to go with her mother-in-law anyway. And also with me, I knew of God, but I never knew him intimately. I never knew him as God, my Savior. I never knew him like that. But when I accepted him unconsciously, I did it by faith without even knowing it. Um, and now I'm able to see, I'm able to understand more about him because he saw my faith and he rewarded me for it. And so just a couple of more examples, like when a baby is conceived, it takes 9 months inside the womb to develop. It's not instant. When you have faith, you know, you expect God to reward you. It isn't always instant though. So after a baby is conceived and it, spent 9 months inside the womb, it's time for delivery. And right after, you know, they still have years to develop and strengthen their immune system, their lungs, the brain is still developing. I believe by the age of 3, the brain has developed 85%. I believe. Don't quote me on that. But, and an interesting fact, their vision isn't fully functional until about a year old. So we we don't know what the baby looks like until the baby is born. I mean, sure you have 3D, but you can't see everything inside of the womb. You just can't. Not while a baby is developing. But you know that there is a baby inside developing and they're coming one day. So, but the crazy thing, like going back to the vision part, when a baby is born, of course, they can't really see. The doctors have to put some kind of substance on their eyes for whatever reason. I'm not a mother, so bear with me. Um, but afterwards, they open their eyes, but it's still everything is kind of blurry. They don't see colors right away, and so sorry, that was my brother. But um, so they can't see color right away, and so maybe they're able to see like silhouettes or whatever. But whenever they cry, mama or daddy comes to help them out, and they know that I'm good with mama, I'm good with daddy. They're gonna feed me, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that, and they're okay. They can't see who mama is right away, but they hear and they know and they can sense that this person, this is familiar to me. So I'm able to trust. I'm able to be okay. I'm settle down. You're able to regulate yourself whenever you sense God. You're able to be at peace when you sense God because that's familiar to you, and there is safety within God. But I know I'm talking about babies a lot, but I used to work at a daycare, and I had to help the babies. I was in the infant room, so I had to help the babies strengthen their neck muscles so they would have tummy time. And basically, you just put them on their tummy, and you get on their level, so you can try to make eye contact, and they would try to lift their big heads up, and it would be funny sometimes, but that actually helps them to, start moving their neck and get used to feeling all this weight on their neck. Um, Otherwise, you would have to support their neck for a very long time. You don't want to go through that. So, you help them with tummy time. And but when you think about it, the babies are on the floor. Okay? They're placed on the floor for tummy time. And so when you're at a low point in your life, you got to lift your head up. You just have to lift your head up. Persevere, even though it may seem the light is getting further away. It may seem you're stagnant or whatever. Lift your head up. You got to use your faith. And that reminds me, yeah, it was in Genesis 37, verse 23. And this is about Joseph. So when Joseph came, oh wait, before I start reading, Joseph is the earthly father of Jesus, but he had brothers who were kind of semi jealous, no shade, but yeah, they didn't like him. They didn't like Joseph at all, and so they tore the the robe off of Joseph, and they threw him in a cistern. Like, okay, that to me that's wild. But they threw him in a cistern where there was no water in it. It says, yeah. So when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his robe, the richly ornamented robe he was wearing, and they took him and threw him into the cistern. Now the cistern was empty; there was no water in it. And so, put that in modern day terms. You're in a dry place. You're in a season where it's just like nothing good is happening. Nothing is growing in your life. You're stagnant or you're going backwards. You're backsliding. And, you can't seem to find steady ground. You can't seem to find your balance. And everything around you is just like you don't know what's going on. and you're underwhelmed, you're overwhelmed, and it's just too much for you. And then, what was it? Jump down to verse 28. So his brothers were trying to sell him to a Midianite. I believe I said that right. So when the Midianite merchants came by, his brothers pulled Joseph up out of the cistern and sold him for 20 shekels of silver to the Ishmaelites, who took him to Egypt. So after you've been in this situation, of being overwhelmed, don't know what's going on, why everything I do just doesn't come to life as I want it to be. Why isn't my business taking off the ground? Why in the world did I lose my job after putting in 20 years? Why have I been laid off? Why have I been in this situation for so long? And now I got to go through this because this happened, you know? But you just read that Joseph faced a trial by his own brothers, and then immediately after, something even worse happened. He was sold into Egypt in a land of famine. So, like I said earlier, you would have to use your faith in uncertainty and in chaotic situations. And I was watching a sermon by T.D. Jakes, and he was saying that on the lines of, I don't want to quote him because it's been a while, but I do remember him saying, like, faith is a gym. You're going to have to exercise your faith. You're going to have to exercise your faith in many different areas of your life, and sometimes at the same time. Like, you're trying to teach your kids the right thing and hope and faith that they will stick to it. And you've got to use that kind of faith in your finances, in building your own business, in stepping into marriage, and going into a relationship, in just any and every area of your life. And but the beauty of it is God never allows you to have to use your faith on your own, because He knows sometimes we get weary. He knows sometimes, Jesus, I've been using my faith for 20 years and it still has not brought me what I wanted or what I thought would actually happen. And just like the baby has the mom and daddy, God supplies you with everything that you need, the people around you, or yeah, going off of the people around you may not always be family, may not always be friends. Some people at your job may make you use your faith because they ain't acting right, your boss ain't acting right, and like, okay, God, I know what you told me, and I know even though I'm still in this place, I'm not gonna always be here. I'm not gonna always be making the same amount of money, even though it ain't much of nothing. Okay, so don't always think uh your faith will be what is the word I'm looking for? Comes out of a good place, as far as like, okay, I'm gonna get my faith from church. No, faith comes from God, and God will help you to use your faith even when you don't know how. That's what I'm getting at. The point is, even if you don't know how to use your faith, God will help you to learn how to use your faith. And oh Lord, there are two songs that I'm thinking of right now. Um, One is Vicki Winans' "No Cross, No Crown." We can't stand being lied about sometimes. If you can't stand being misused sometimes, I mean, everything is not always going to be seen by humans, but everything is noted by God. Okay? So you gotta remember that if God helped me out in a totally different situation before, He will help me out now. He will help me out in the future. Like if you're an expectant mother, this is your first one, do not be alarmed. God will help you with your children or with your child, and you'll be fine. You will be fine. And if this is your first time stepping out on your own, you just graduated or whatever the case may be, you're going to be fine. You have everything that you need. God is going to definitely help you to develop and strengthen the things that you've learned in your past, and you will be fine. You will be more than just fine. And I will never forget. It was I was listening to Erica Campbell one morning, and she was talking about tithing and how you know she didn't always have a lot of money, but whatever she made, she would take 10% and give it to God, um, because He is worth everything that you have, and He would definitely bless you for trusting in Him and for having faith that He is real and that He's good. And so it doesn't matter what situation you're in. You know, if you are poverty stricken or if you have issues with your weight and trying to become healthy and being committed to becoming healthy, God will help you. You just have to continually go to Him in prayer and believe. Okay, God, I know you heard me on this one. I know you heard me. I know, God, that you are with me. I know that you will supply everything that I need. I know that I have everything I need, even though I don't have it right now. I know, God, that you have it in your hands. Everything is in your hands. So, and like at your job, just encourage yourself. Sometimes, you may mess up more than you would like, and your boss takes note of that. Trust me, I understand how you feel, but God won't give you more than you can bear, and God will definitely um, take care of you. Um, remember the story of David before he even became king. 15 years prior to that, he was told he was going to be the king. In that gap, that huge gap of time, God gave him grace, and that helped to strengthen and to add to David's faith. And so I know it's been a long time since you've asked God for some things, but He heard you, and He will supply according to whatever His plan is. And we don't always agree on time, me and God. We don't always agree on time, especially because um, I never would have said, yeah, you can bring my grandma home. I don't. That's a touchy subject for me, but I know now I know that it was best for my grandma to not be physically here on earth anymore. Um, not after certain things have played out in my life, and I don't know if she would have been able to handle it or how she would have handled it. And so I have to trust God and faith that she's in the right place with Him. I know by faith that my grandma is in heaven. I know that. And but yeah, I know that when she died, she never saw me get out of the situation that I was in, and it was not a good situation. And I hate that that was the last thing she knew before she passed, or right before she passed. But I have to just, I have to trust God that she's she is proud of me right now, and all of the things that I have overcame, and I take peace in knowing that she is in a much better place. And so definitely encourage yourself in between your now and your future. You definitely have to use your faith in between. And if I can, I will refer, well, not refer, but I will encourage you all to find the sermon on Stephen Furtick. I think it's called The God of In Between. I'll find it and put it in the link below. But and definitely T.D. Jakes' Faith. He's had multiple ones, but I'll find the one about exercising your faith. And definitely you'll be fine. Everybody who's watching, you will be fine, and you're definitely gonna make it. And I don't know your situation, but God knows. He is above all, and He's the one in control. So everybody, be blessed, and God loves you, and He will take care of you. And take some time to have quiet time with God, and strengthen up for the rest of the day and for the rest of the week. And yeah, hopefully you will have a prosperous week, and you will experience God in new ways. All right, be blessed.